Okay. Looks like we're rolling, so
Okay.
we'll go ahead and get started with our interview with Patti. And Patti is the coordinator of Southwest Missouri Regional Skywarn. For those of you that don't know, her call sign's KD0AEL, and we're talking to her today about some Skywarn, information that would be useful to people that she can give us. So, welcome to the show, Patti.
Thanks for having me, Billy.
You're very welcome. Well, first, let's just dive right in. What inspired you to get involved in Skywarn and later become the coordinator? How did you get started in the field?
So, I've always been interested in weather. And for a long time, I would pull up radar on my computer as best I could, no fancy programs. And I would have one of the TV meteorologists in the background giving their take of what was going on. And I was trying to see what they were seeing and understand what I was seeing on the radar. My husband picked up on the fact I was interested and set me up with a scanner that would pick up the spotters in the field on the local ham channels. And I'm listening to them and their reports. I decided I wanted to be a part of that. Went to a meeting and ultimately got involved. I saw a need for Greene County to have their own group and not just a chaser group that would go out wherever the storms were coming in from and chase them back. We needed something organized here. So I proposed to the gentleman who was the coordinator for Southwest at the time that I get that started. So that's kind of where I got my foot in the door. How I got to be the coordinator, you'll have to ask Mr. Rolls from the National Weather Service, because when my predecessor passed away, his assistant didn't want the position, and I was approached about it. I still don't feel like I can fill those shoes, but I hope I'm developing the program to be different and maybe even better than it was. I'm hoping.
Well, I think it's doing quite well under you. We have a lot of success, and that's something we can celebrate. Can you share a memorable experience or maybe an event that stands out from your time as coordinator, even just in Skywarn in general? It would be interesting.
Before I had the 10 other bodies to help fill the seat around the clock, we had an event that hit Carl Junction, it hit Greenfield, it went on up to ultimately Jefferson City. That was 8 hours behind the mic. That was a rough night.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But so many tremendous reports from the spotters. I commend them. There were a couple that followed it all the way through. So.
They were probably exhausted.
I'm sure they were. I was.
I'm sure. We cover 37 counties in the Springfield National Weather Service area. And so there's got to be significant challenges in coordinating weather spotters in such a large area.
I feel like I'm not doing the best job there, but I encourage the people in the individual counties to do their own nets, to attend all the trainings. I try my best to reach out to those people, to the ARES groups. A lot of emails back and forth because I just can't go to all the meetings. Ultimately, I would like to shake hands with more, but I'm getting there slowly. COVID really put a crunch on that because my plan had been to start going to all the meetings and meet the people. So
that really hurt a lot of things.
It really did.
With that, yeah. So I'm very unfortunate. What kind of training do Skywarn spotters undergo, and has that changed or evolved over the years?
What they take has evolved a bit. I still recommend, if your National Weather Service, wherever you are, offers a training class, go. They offer up to 4 different ones plus advanced spotter training. go to as many as you can. Do a refresher every year or two. Because there's always something new or a different meteorologist teaching it that has a different take. There's always something to learn. I also encourage take the med-ed classes, Comet med-ed. They have a basic spotter, but then you can go from there to learn about convective basics, and you can learn about photographs and other things. It's all free. It's also college credit. And you can take as many as you like. The other thing, the Spotter Network has got a class. It takes 2 hours. It is tougher than the one on Comet Med-Ed. I highly recommend it for people who plan on being in the field. If you want to be a mobile spotter, that is an excellent training.
It sounds like it. Yeah, definitely. Well, and looking at technology such as the radar and communication tools that are being used today, have they enhanced the effectiveness of the program and changed it in any way?
I think in the our ability to get data, especially for our net controls, yes, ultimately. The radar tools on the phone, they're constantly changing. I know there was one I used to use that they dropped support for. But there are some great tools that people can take with them for their own personal safety. Or a spotter in the field or a spotter at home. But ultimately, I see, as far as Skywarn goes, it's the net control that provides the information to keep people safe.
Right. They kind of are the control point, really, of everything, coordinating those, urging those to report the information that we need and get involved that are out there spotting. So they really have a difficult job,
Right.
it would seem. Yeah. Um, what are your thoughts on the future of Skywarn and its role in an era where we've got climate change and even extreme weather, some would say?
Uh, Climate change is a thing. It's going to always be a thing. Earth is always evolving. We're going to have years where we have a lot more severe weather. This is looking to be one of those. So far, it's kind of playing out that way. Is it going to be here? I don't know. It's kind of looking like Dixie Alley and maybe points east. That happens. The dry line shifts back and forth. I've read that 25-year cycles on that, and it'll shift back. So I don't see that that's going to affect us. We still need to be prepared. We still need to maintain our training. We still need to maintain our readiness. If you're interested in being a net control or even a stay-at-home spotter, have backup power. How are you going to have comms if your cell phone's down and your power's out and your radio runs off your house power?
You better have a nice big battery there at the
Right.
very minimum.
Right. So I don't see that changing. I do see us broadening out a bit more. We're using Zello a lot more. We've got a lot of non-hams that are giving us some good reports. So our job is to keep enough people on staff in those big events. It took 4 of us the other night.
Right.
Between social media, the actual ham nets, and Zello, it took 4 of us.
Right. And it was we've had some very aggressive storms this month. So the trainings that we've been doing this month are just in time, I think.
I think so.
For people to have gotten in and gotten to attend some of these classes and have a better idea about helping out. Maybe that's helped drive some of the reports that we've been getting this month. So,
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
And if you've been to one of those classes and you're not, quote, officially a part of Skywarn, you're still a part of Skywarn. You're a trained spotter.
Right.
I will take your report.
Yeah.
If it's questionable, I'll ask for other eyes on that storm. It's that simple.
Great plan. Great plan. Well, if they want to get involved in Skywarn, especially from the amateur radio aspect, which is what our primary reporting mechanism is back to net control. What advice would you give them on that?
So again, attend one of your local spotter trainings, do the med ed trainings. I haven't heard recently, but it was always told me that they really want the spotters to have the med ed trainings. If you can't make it to a local training, email me, and I'll point you to some videos that are there for training purposes. Or even I join our spotter group on Facebook, and as those training opportunities come available, they're posted there. If they're anywhere in the Midwest.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Considering all the weather events we've had lately, and we had 12 or 13 people killed in Missouri alone here just a week or two ago, and some tornadoes that came through. Do you have anything to add that I haven't asked you about that you'd like to tell people in response to that, or overall?
So this attitude of it can't happen to me, it's never happened here. Know that it absolutely can. We cannot predict a tornado path when those predictions are coming through. National Weather can't predict those paths. They can predict an area. If you're in that area, have multiple ways to get those warnings. If you sleep at odd hours, or if storms are coming through overnight and you're in an area that may have storms, have something that will wake you so you can get to safety.
Like I have my weather radio, and it usually wakes me up, but sometimes it doesn't go off.
I had to unplug mine.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
There was a time I used a program called Warn that would send me the warnings as soon as they came out from the Weather Service. So I had that going off. I had my weather radio going off 37 counties worth. I had to unplug it. I don't use that kind of alert anymore. I'm just so attuned to checking the weather multiple times a day to know what the changes are, what's coming our way. If there's a day coming up like Wednesday, I will be up late Tuesday night. I can guarantee you this. I will be up until the Storm Prediction Center updates their daily prediction, so I can see that and start making plans for Wednesday.
So the important thing is being weather aware, especially in Skywarn. But people should probably take that to heart as well when they're seeing these alert days coming up in the weather forecasts. Kind of keep an eye on the weather for the coming week would be a good idea.
I don't have a good way that's cost effective to get word out to everybody that might be affected. I tried, and the program I was using allowed 250 texts a month. I could send that many out for one event.
Right.
So I can't afford that.
Right, definitely.
This is on my dime. All of this is volunteer. So I encourage you, if you're a ham or not, you can also hear us on Broadcastify on your phone, on your computer, on those weather alert days. We're going to be on there. Listen for us.
Right. All right. Well, folks, we've been visiting with Patti Flowers Palmer, the coordinator of Southwest Missouri Regional Skywarn, and hope you've enjoyed that. We will have her contact information at the bottom of the story. I'm Billy Dalton. Thank you for joining us.
What do you think?
Probably went pretty good.